Here's something that really bothers me about traditional investing. Your bills come every month, but most dividend stocks only pay you every 3 months. Think about it for a second. Your rent is due on the 1st. Your car payment is due by the 15th. Your credit card bill doesn't wait 90 days. But for some reason, we've all been taught to accept that quarterly dividend payments are the norm. And if you're starting with a small account, say $500 or $2,000, good luck trying to buy into most dividend funds. Popular ones are trading at $400, $500, even $600 per share. You're forced to buy tiny fractions and watch your account do basically nothing for months. Look, if you're 25 and have 40 years to invest, maybe you can afford to play the long game. But if you're in your 40s or 50s, or you're just trying to build real cash flow right now, waiting decades for compound growth isn't a strategy, it's a prison sentence. Today, I'm cutting through all of that. I've found 4 ETFs that are each priced under $50 per share, and every single one pays monthly dividends. Not quarterly, monthly. We're talking about real income hitting your brokerage account 12 times a year. I'll show you exactly what each fund holds, what you'll earn monthly in real dollar amounts, and how to create a simple portfolio that pays you immediately. If you need your money to work for you now, not someday, this is how you do it. Let's begin with the cheapest one on this list, QYLD, the Global X Nasdaq 100 Covered Call ETF. Right now, QYLD is trading for around $17 to $18 per share. So for less than the cost of lunch, you can own a piece of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, all the big tech names you already use every day. But QYLD doesn't just sit there holding these stocks, hoping they'll go up. It does something smarter. This fund uses a covered call strategy. Let me explain. Imagine you own a Ferrari. You could park it in the garage and wait for it to appreciate, or you could rent it out every weekend and collect cash while still owning it. That's what QYLD does with its tech stocks. It rents them out to options traders and pockets the fee. Those fees add up to about an 11.6% yield right now, which is double digits. So, if you put $10,000 into this fund, you're looking at roughly $1,160 per year, around $97 a month hitting your account. That's enough to cover your phone bill, your streaming services, and more, all just for holding these stocks. The fund charges 0.6% to manage everything, so you're paying just $6 a year for every $1,000 you invest. Honestly, that's pretty cheap for what you're getting. Now here's the catch. When tech stocks are really booming, like when these stocks jump 30% or 40% in a year, you don't get all of those gains. The covered call strategy caps your upside. You're trading big growth for steady monthly checks. And for many people who need cash flow now, that's perfectly fine. Plus, the share price tends to drift sideways or even down a bit over time because so much of the return is in those dividends. You're not buying QYLD expecting it to double in value. You're buying it for the $97 every month. If you need maximum monthly income and you're fine with tech, QYLD is a solid option. But the next fund spreads your risk across the entire market instead of just tech. Combining these two can create something really powerful. Plus, I've got another fund coming up that's up almost 4% this year while still paying monthly dividends, something that almost never happens. Now let's talk about the diversified version, XYLD, the Global X S&P 500 Covered Call ETF. This one is priced between $43 and $45 per share, still very affordable. The big difference here is that instead of just owning the Nasdaq, you get exposure to all 500 of the biggest companies in the US. You get Apple and Microsoft, but you also get companies like Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, ExxonMobil, JP Morgan, healthcare, consumer goods, energy, financials. It's a much broader mix. Just like QYLD, XYLD uses the covered call strategy. It owns these S&P 500 stocks and sells covered calls to generate monthly income. And because you're spread across the whole market, if one sector crashes, say, tech, you've got other sectors that can hold you up. The yield is about 10.5%. Still double digits, just a bit lower because it's diversified. So, on $10,000, you're looking at around $1,050 a year, or about $87 a month. That's enough to cover your electric bill or car insurance. The expense ratio is 0.6%, the same as QYLD. If you want a high monthly income but don't want everything riding on tech, XYLD is a great option. It's safer, more boring, but boring often means sleeping better. But what if you want more than just income? What if you want the share price to grow too? The next fund gives you both. It's actively managed by experts who only pick the best stocks. After that, I'll show you the $44 billion giant that financial advisors are pouring money into. You'll see why it might be the smartest choice of all. Let's switch it up now. Divo, the Amplify CWP Enhanced Dividend Income ETF. This one is trading around $26 to $28 per share, super accessible. But Divo plays a different game. Instead of tracking an index and selling calls on everything, real portfolio managers pick only 20 to 25 stocks at a time. These are quality names like UPS, Home Depot, Lockheed Martin, Johnson & Johnson, Costco, blue-chip companies that have survived recessions and paid dividends for decades. The yield here is more conservative, around 5% to 6%. I know that's half of what QYLD offers, but here's why it matters. Divo's share price actually grows. Unlike covered call funds, where the price tends to stay flat or drift down, Divo's net asset value has steadily increased since its launch. You're getting both income and appreciation, which is rare in the monthly dividend world. So, $10,000 invested in Divo will get you about $550 per year, or about $46 per month. It's enough to cover your gym membership and Netflix, and unlike QYLD, your shares will be worth more next year. The fund charges 0.56%, actually a bit cheaper than the others. With over $6.5 billion in assets, this is not a tiny experiment, it's a solid player. The downside? If you need maximum income right now, Divo's 5% might feel too slow. You'd be better off with QYLD or XYLD. But if you're in your 30s or 40s, have some time, and want both wealth growth and monthly income, Divo's the perfect middle ground. One more to go. This one is a powerhouse, $44 billion in assets, one of the largest actively managed ETFs in the world. Institutional money is pouring into it, and it's paying monthly dividends while actually up this year. Let's talk about JPI, the JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF. This one's technically a bit over $50, trading between $55 and $58, so it breaks our under $50 rule. But once you see what it does, you'll understand why it made the list. First number to know, $44 billion in assets. This fund is massive. Most ETFs would be thrilled to hit $1 billion. JPI is at $44 billion because financial advisors, wealth managers, and retirement accounts are all using it. When you see that much institutional money, you know it's worth paying attention. JPI's yield is around 8%, lower than QYLD's 11.6%. But here's the twist. JPI is up 3.7% year-to-date. You're getting an 8% dividend yield, and the share price is climbing, something that almost never happens. The fund doesn't just follow a simple index. JP Morgan's portfolio managers actively pick stocks across all sectors: growth, value, tech, and defensive companies like Meta, Alphabet, Visa, and United Health. It's a balanced mix designed to work in all markets. A $10,000 investment in JPI will get you about $800 a year, or roughly $67 a month. It's lower than QYLD's $97, but your share price is growing too. You're building wealth while receiving monthly income. And the expense ratio is only 0.35%, the lowest of all the funds. JP Morgan is managing everything, making stock picks, generating income, and managing risk, all for less than $4 a year on every $1,000. That's incredible value. Who is JPI for? If you want professional management, stability, monthly income without wild swings, JPI is the gold standard. It's the most mature, polished fund on the list. Now you've got 4 different options, but the real question is, which combination do you need? Because if your monthly bills are $800, you'll need a different strategy than someone whose bills are $2,500. I've built a free budget tracker, which you'll find in the description. Just plug in your expenses, and it will tell you exactly how much you need to invest to cover them. Most people realize they're either closer than they thought, or they need to get serious. Either way, you'll know your number. The question now is, how do you actually use these? Do you pick one and go all in? No. Stick with me, because I'm about to show you how to combine all 4 funds into a portfolio that pays you every month. I'll break down how to split your money for maximum monthly paychecks, and what kind of real income you can expect starting with $5,000, $10,000, or even just $1,000. This is where it all clicks. You don't just pick the one with the highest yield and dump everything into it. That's not smart investing. You layer these funds, balancing high yield with stability. You create a monthly income machine that pays you whether the market is up, down, or sideways. Let's say you have $5,000 to invest. Here's how I'd split it. 40% into QYLD. You're aiming for maximum yield and tech exposure. 30% into XYLD, balancing it out with S&P 500 diversification. 20% into DVO, adding growth potential on top of income. 10% saved, building it up to add JPI. Once you hit $1,000 to $1,500 more, you'll add JPI to the mix. From that $5,000 investment, here's what you're looking at. QYLD, $19 per month. XYLD, $13 per month. DVO, $5 per month. That's a total of $37 per month in passive income hitting your account. Now, I know what you're thinking. $37 a month isn't life-changing. You're right. But here's what changes the game. Dividend reinvestment. Turn on DRIP, dividend reinvestment. Every month, those $37 automatically buy you more shares. More shares mean bigger dividends next month, and it compounds 12 times a year instead of the usual 4. Fast forward 5 years. Keep adding just $100 a month to this portfolio and reinvest every dividend. You're looking at a portfolio generating $150 to $200 per month. That covers your car payment. That handles your grocery bill. The goal isn't to retire tomorrow. The goal is to get paid this month, next month, and every single month after that, while your bills keep showing up like clockwork. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.